Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Listening Room. You guys don't mind another Listening Room episode, right? Yeah, I generally want to do them more often than I actually do. So I'm going to try really, really hard to do them, try to do them at least on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, right? Because, I accumulate so much stuff that I'm checking out and that I know you guys want to hear about. So I figure, about time for another one because I've got a lot of stuff sitting around here that I've been trying to check out, trying to find enough hours in the day to listen to all this cool stuff that I want to hear, things that I picked up, stuff that I'm getting ready to do, ranking the album shows and things like that, trying to fill in gaps in the catalog and whatnot. So I've got some cool stuff to talk about. So let's dive right in, shall we? So been it's another one of those bands always knew about, never bought any of their stuff. Been listening to some Malice. They don't have a lot of albums, right? They really have the two. And then they've got like some compilations and live stuff. And I think they did like a digital only release a bunch of years back or whatever. But, they have the first two albums. And this is the second one, License to Kill. Great Rock Candy reissue, by the way. I've got the other one on the way. So very, very cool stuff. Great 80s band if you like kind of like early U.S. kind of traditional / power metal style, very Judas Priest sounding, but you hear flavors of like Dokken and things like that. Really, really good band. Great guitar playing, great vocals. Speaking about another really good U.S. kind of underground metal, power metal band, they were originally on Shrapnel Records. Vicious Rumors. Got Soldiers of the Night. Of course, this is the debut. Features Vinnie Moore on lead guitar, the one and only album he appeared with there. There he is right there. Very cool. This is what kind of launched Vinny's solo career. We've also got Digital Dictator. There's that classic Shrapnel album art, right? If you watch the Apocrypha episode that George and I did recently, probably the same guy who did a couple of those album covers. And then we've got Welcome to the Ball. Here's another Rock Candy reissue. Right, Vicious Rumor, very, very cool band, ripping guitars, just good, like traditional U.S. power metal. Speaking of U.S. power metal, how about some, and again, some of these we've got on the calendar or in the planning stages for ranking the album shows. Here's another one, Hellstar. Got Nosferatu, Distant Thunder. Again, another great underrated U.S. metal band that kind of got their start back there in the 80s and have been doing stuff all throughout the years. I have picked up, I know I've shown some before, but I've gotten some additional Virgin Steel ones. Here's Invictus. Very cool concept album from them. I'm trying to see what other Virgin Steels I've gotten that I have not already showed. You know what? I'll show them all anyway, just for the hell of it. I don't remember if you guys have seen this, so I did get the box set with some cool albums. This has Noble Savage, Age of Consent, Life Among the Ruins, and The Marriage of Heaven and Hell Parts 1 and Part 2. I've also gotten the Nocturnes and Nocturnes of Hellfire and Damnation. Good album. The Passion of Dionysius. Also pretty good. There's more latter-day stuff. And then you guys obviously have seen the reviews I did of the reissues of their first two albums, which are both very, very cool. So some Virgin Steel stuff. And then I finally was able to finish up my collection of the Night Flight Orchestra. And I was able to get a hold of the first two albums. So you got Internal Affairs, that one, and this one is called Skyline Whispers. These are the Nuclear Blast reissues, so these got little different album covers, I believe, than what they originally released. So now I've gotten all of the Night Flight Orchestra releases, so you can expect in the not too distant future a ranking show from Simon and myself. So be on the lookout for that. Simon Bray and me doing Night Flight Orchestra. All right, how about great Dutch band Super Sister? Very cool, kind of Canterbury-ish, quirky prog band. We've got their 1972 album Pudding and Gistern. Okay, Sal, I'm sure Sal probably knows Super Sister. And here I've got one on the way, but here's another one. 2-on-1, two of their albums on one collection. You got Present from Nancy and To the Highest Bidder. These are their first two albums. Like I said, very, very cool, quirky, Dutch, Prague, Canterbury-ish. So if you like the Canterbury scene, kind of like Hatfield in the North, National Health, Gilgamesh, Egg, that sort of thing, you'll probably dig these guys. Let's see, what else? Another band that we're going to be doing a ranking show. I think Rich Catino and myself, and maybe John Gaffney, and maybe I can convince Martin Popoff, maybe Chad Hutchinson. We'll see. Canadian band Coney Hatch. Got some more cool Rock Candy reissues here. That is their first album. Here we got Out of Hand. Just really good Canadian hard rock. Another Rock Candy, Friction. And that was the 3 albums they did originally back in the day. Then they kind of broke up or were inactive for quite a while. And then they came back a number of years ago. I don't remember exactly what year this came out in. Sometime in the 2013, so it's already over a decade ago, on Frontiers, Coney Hatch 4. All right, and that's the last we've heard of them until now, or up to date, right? But I believe they still are out doing some live stuff. What else we got here? How about Honeymoon Suite? Speaking of another Canadian band. So I think I showed this before. So the big prize, I was doing a show with Chad Hutchinson. We were talking about our Max Webster show, and he was highly recommending this Honeymoon Suite album, The Big Prize, which is really, really good. It's very much kind of like Foreigner, like early 80s Foreigner. Just big hooks and big guitars and lots of great hooks and all vocals and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good. So I decided to go a little further. So I went out and got Racing After Midnight. So, of course, both of these are Rock Candy reissues. And then I didn't stop there, and I went and got their self-titled, also on Rock Candy. And then more recently, so they're also on Frontiers Records, so I got their Alive album, which is more, this is from, what year was this? 2024, so this is their most recent one. And then I got Clifton Hill, and this is from the early 2000s. I think this is 2008, and this is their reissue of this, which came out in 2024. And I think the reason why it's called Revisit is because they've got a couple bonus tracks on here, some like acoustic sessions on here. So yeah, so Honeymoon Suite. So looking forward to eventually doing a ranking the album show on that. Let's see, something else coming out of a show I did on Brendan Snyder's channel. Again, I may or may not have shown these, but Brownsville Station, the complete Big Trek recordings. So we got those 4 albums right there. And I also picked up Air Special. Just good meat and potatoes, you know, hard rock. This another Rock Candy. There's Rock Candy stuff floating around all over the place here in my collection here. What else we have to show here? I picked up the new Jotun. All right, this is their debut. This is called Access All Worlds. Great band. I don't know how I missed these guys. So good. And then we've got, based on my absolutely loving the brand new Helicopters, I have decided to go a little deeper into their catalog. I got Eyes of Oblivion, kick-ass Swedish rock band. I've got Rock and Roll Is Dead. And thank you, Craig Kaminsky, for helping me figure out which ones to go after. Grandy Rock. And I've got one more coming, so that's on the way. And then, because I decided to, because in recent months listening to an album of theirs here and there, I've decided to revisit my interest in WASP. And I went and got these very cool Madfish reissues of some of the early WASP catalogs. So here, of course, is the self-titled debut. Here is The Last Command. We did an episode on Hudson Valley Squares, an album war from 1985, and this was one of them, and I enjoyed it way more than I expected to. I had these back in the day, right? I also got Inside the Electric Circus. I also got The Headless Children. And I also picked up The Crimson Idol. So really, that's mostly what I'm interested in from WASP. I know they've got a lot more albums after this. We'll kind of see how these go. If I decide to move forward, you know, maybe I shall. We shall see. That's to be determined, right? But for now, I'm going to kind of stop there. And I don't know if there's really all that much. We do have some things here. So pick this up, Garibaldi, Astrolabia. I believe this was an Italian band, right? Italian or Spanish band, something like that, from the 70s. Amazing, like kind of Jimi Hendrix, Robin Trower inspired guitar work. Just good, like proggy hard rock. There is that. Here's a really weird band called Food Brain, Japanese kind of avant-garde psych jazz rock band featuring Shinky Chen. guitar player, this is his solo album, Shinki Chen. So very, very cool, weird Japanese stuff right there. I think I showed this, but I'm not quite sure. I got this very cool 2-disc set, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, First Flight to Tokyo, the lost 1961 recordings. Excellent, excellent live show. What a lineup, man. Got Art Blakey on drums, Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Timmons, and Jemmy Merritt. Great, great jazz. Classic jazz. Awesome. And then I picked this up because Mike Antonelli and I are going to be doing the next installment of Talking Jazz. We're going to do like a retrospective on Wayne Shorter. And he's got so many albums, and I have a lot of Wayne Shorter, but I don't have, everything. And I found this 5 original album set, which has some of his really cool Blue Note releases. He's got a lot on Blue Note. I have a whole bunch of others, but I didn't have these. So this has the Night Dreamer album from 64, the Soothsayer from 65, Etc. from 65, Adam's Apple from 66, and Schizophrenia from 67. So very, very cool. So, yeah. So I think that's kind of about it. That's a lot of stuff, but I don't think there's anything else that I really kind of accumulated since the last time we did this. So, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this little excursion into what I'm listening to. Oh, I do. I could show a couple of things. Hold on. So George Lemay sent me this cool Matteo Mancuso live show from 2024. Just got that in, have not listened to it. Here's the Two Mars CD, which we talked about on the recent episode of 4 Fusion Friday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. From Ken Golan, I got this great Mahavishnu Orchestra live set from Yale University, 1973. Smoking. Absolutely smoking. And also Led Zeppelin Boots live from Inglewood, 1975, 3 CD set. Very, very cool vintage Zeppelin stuff. So yeah, some cool things. Cool things that I'm listening to and trying to find time to listen to. You know how it goes. So thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options. All down below. Thanks in advance for all your support there, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Stay tuned. Later today, the Professor's Picks, UK Connection tomorrow, ranking the albums on Sunday, and a whole lot more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, also the first episode of Eric Porter's Let's Jam. For those of you who are interested in the jam band scene, first episode is coming up this weekend. I will be joining him for that first episode, and then going forward, he's going to be kind of running the show on that, and I may pop in from time to time on those episodes, but I figured I would help him out on the first episode, and then he's going to take it from there. So we're going to talk about new album releases from Mo, new album release from Widespread Panic, and kind of like an overview of the jam band scene and the genesis and the history of the jam band scene, all that sort of thing. And then he's got guests lined up for the future and all that sort of stuff. So should be a really fun show for those of you who do like jam band music or jam music, whatever, however you call it, right? So tons and tons of bands. So stay tuned for that and more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.